part 2. So you may have to do this repeatedly, okay? And when I say repeatedly, you know, you give it a few days and you go back to it again. Now, let me give you the history of sage. Native Indians, a lot of the tribes, they believe in saging themselves every day, clearing their own energy, okay? A lot of people believe in sage. Do your own research, okay? You could buy sage in a spray. You could buy sage in many, many forms, okay? Sea salt is another good clearing one, all right? That's another thing. One time I had to prescribe to somebody, and let me tell you, she thanked me. She thanked me immensely. You know, I'm probably going to tell that story in the same video. So I instructed somebody to buy, I don't know, I can't remember the quantity that I told her to buy. But I told her to buy a large amount of sea salt. Her house was a house that was it was her home after she had gotten divorced. And it is in close proximity to her marital home that she shared with her husband. So she was already at peace with the neighborhood she lived in. I had to get it, you know, I had a deep conversation with her. We had this conversation. I advised her what to do. She did what I asked her to do, okay? She then, in turn, a while later, invited me to come out. She paid me. I came to her home. I did a full consult. I followed up with an email. And then we touched base and everything with that afterwards. And the things that got revealed from the time that I told her what to do and she did it, okay? And she invited me to the house. And then after she invited me to the house, before the next time she and I was in contact, it was amazing the stuff that she unearthed. Amazing. Things that could have easily been covered up. Things that could have been hazardous in her home as she's continuing, you know, as she gets older. Because this is her forever home. Okay? She was able to make... I'm vlogging. Yeah. You gonna come on my vlog with me? So, she was able, you know, just to do a lot of things. She unearthed a lot. She was able to see with a clearer eye when she was speaking to her installer, talking to whoever she needed to talk to. She was able to, like, completely read through bullshit when bullshit was coming her way. Okay? It was so important. Like, she told me how important it was. And I know. Like, you ain't telling me nothing I don't know for myself. You understand? Because my close friends, they know my story. They know my story. They know what I've been through in the last 2 years. They know what I've been through in the last 3 years. They know what my family has gone through. They know about my transformation that happens. They know about it. And my pledge is, whether it's through my wellness products, whether it's through my design consulting, whether it's through my public speaking, my outreach or whatever in the community and the talking and all of the stuff that I do, whatever it's through, my goal is to touch 1 million women. Yes, there's some men in there. I minister to young men all the time. Okay? If ministry is the word that you want to use, or advise or coach or whatever the case may be, I mentor all kind of people. Okay? But my goal is to help 1 million women, because our demographic is disenfranchised in so many ways. Classism, racism, sexism, it just keeps going on and on and on, right? And it's like, at some point, we got to be like, wait a minute. You do not have my best interest in mind. And I'm all right with that. Because whatever that is inside of you that's causing you to be limited, to not help me, I'd rather know about it now than know about it 10 years later. While you're already like millions of dollars invested in relationships and marriages and stuff like that. So this sage is very revealing. Okay? So if you do not have anybody else living with you, this is going to definitely help you with clearing your ear. If you have people living in with you, it is going to probably bring up some things. Right? It might. Right? But then that's why I tell you to have rose quartz around. Okay? You know, because it's a mineral, and this mineral vibrates, all right? And it'll help with fostering love. Okay? And the reason I say all of them, let's not get this twisted. I'm definitely a Christian. I'm a Christian. Okay? Regardless of what anybody think, I'm a Christian. I was raised a Christian. I'm a Christian. I follow my Baba here online. Okay? I go to church. All right? And all of that. But one thing I'm not going to ignore is I'm not going to ignore what it is that we have around us that we can use to make life better. I'm not going to ignore that. So if you are somebody who can buy a candlestick and put an ornament in your house, you can buy a piece of crystal and put it in your home. Okay? You can charge that crystal when the sun is shining really brightly. You want that sunlight to come and hit that stone. Okay? You can wash it in some salt water, in some sea salt water. Sea salt, we cook with sea salt. We're not talking about nothing that is conjured or whatever the case may be. So, we're talking about home clearing. Energy clearing in your home is so important. Because you see, when you start getting really indecisive about things, that's what causes people to do, $5,000, $6,000 of work, install it in their home, and then they're not satisfied with it. Okay? And have to rip out things and all of that. No one's going to attach my name to that. Especially if you didn't take my advice from the very beginning. All this stuff is so important. It's all related. It's all intertwined. Okay? So, get yourself some sage. When you do your research on sage and the history of sage and all of the different groups that use sage and how you can use it to clear your home and all of that, then you can start progressing and think about, what else can I use? Maybe I want to use some rosemary, okay, with it. The stuff that we season chicken with. I don't eat chicken anymore. But I used to eat meat. Okay? And, that's another progress of it. That level of just like really trying to like vibe right. At some point you may not want to participate in hurting animals and eating animals or whatever the case may be. You start becoming a free thinker, where you're not controlled by what is the norm and like, okay, we're all having barbecue chicken. Sure, I'm going to have some barbecue chicken. No, that's probably what's going on with some of you, is that you over here eating stuff you're not supposed to be eating. You're still eating pork and stuff like that. Come on. Right? We're talking about energy in your home. This is where you rest. This is where you foster your relationships. This is where you love your children. You cuddle them. This is where you prepare your meals to nurture yourself. If you have a home office, this is where you work. This is where you make your bread and butter. Like, I was privy to these things because before I started doing design in this environment that I'm in presently, okay, and that I'm in, whatever, I ran business with my ex-husband. And we worked from home. Even when we ran the photo studio, we worked from home. I would only go to the photo studio if I needed to, let a photog in or something like that, or set up for a shoot or whatever the case may be, or keep my baby group or whatever. I've done things, right? I know how important it is to help, even from small. So that was like one of my first things that one of the earlier things that I did after I started the first two businesses that I did, So that energy in that space is important. Even in my studio, it was important. I never, ever, ever witnessed a fight happen in my photo studio. Never. Because I always made sure the energy was right. It's important. So the energy in your home, it has to be correct. It must be correct. You have to fight for that. All right? If your husband travels regularly, and create a space of love for him to return to. When he leaves, create a space of love that you still feel loved even when he's not there. Right? That's why I keep telling you guys about these crystals. Don't make me call y'all names, okay? I know we sent a couple of DMs. Get yourself some crystals, sis. Because it's beautiful. It's from the earth. They vibrate. Right? All of this is energy. Me speaking to you, you listening. That's energy. Right? Everybody that comes to your door, maintenance man, the cable guy, the delivery, everybody, that's energy. So clear the energy regularly in your home. You have, contractors, they came in and did it, even if they did good job, bad job, whatever, clear the energy after they finish their job. Okay? So you can continue to make concise decisions that you're firm about and you're not nervous about. This is Sharonda from Providence Life Design. Feel free to reach out to me if you need consulting. Have a blessed one.